By 2014, they finally managed to hit that coveted 100 watts mark. But improvements in multi-patterning with 193 nanometers now meant that EUV would only be useful if the source reached at least 200 watts and made 125 wafers per hour.
The source went from 100 to 200, but as the industry moved on, nobody waits for you. You know, they find other solutions. We had to catch up, so it was a moving goalpost.
One of the problems was, how do you perfectly time the laser so you hit each of these droplets?
So the analogy is a bit like a golf ball that you need to land in the hole 200 meters away. Not like land on the green, not bounce and then get in the hole, but like land in the hole every time. That's the level of precision that we need to deliver the droplets. Those droplets are traveling through this like maelstrom of hydrogen flow. The speeds are tremendously high. It's like shoot golf balls through a tornado. And then right when it lands at the hole, that's when it needs to get hit by the laser. So in order to basically track the droplets, for that we use laser curtains. And we can sort of look at when does the droplet pass through a laser curtain. Those scattered photons tell us basically when and where is the droplet. And then importantly tells us when to fire the laser. So we actually have to take into account how long will it take for the light pulse to hit the droplet after we send the pulse.
Now, by 2015, they were getting closer and closer to that coveted 200 watt mark, when all of a sudden, the ASML board members got summoned.
This was one of these decisive moments where our customers were really thin on patience. And Martin and all the board members were summoned to Korea to show 200 watt. And they were really fed up with it. You know, you either show it now or you go away. And when they entered the plane, the experiment was still running. Okay. When they exited the plane, they had the first result demonstrating 200 watt. This is how close we came.
With the source power up, there was one final problem that had to be solved before they could begin manufacturing their machine. See, while the hydrogen gas did protect the collector mirror from debris, it wasn't perfect. All the intense high-energy photons and hydrogen ions zipping around deteriorated a very special top coating on the collector. So they still had to clean the mirrors every 10 hours, which, you know, is terrible for productivity. Martin van der Brink asked for updates every day on their progress. But then one of the engineers noticed that every time they opened up the machine, the mirrors suddenly seemed cleaner.
That he kind of chimed in and said, wait a second. Whenever we opened up the machine, oxygen comes in and our problem is solved. Couldn't we think of a way to add just a little oxygen to our system and make sure that the collector stays clean longer? And so they started experimenting with the amount of oxygen that was needed in the vacuum. And then finally got to this point, okay, if we add so much oxygen, we'll keep the collector clean for longer.
With this fix, ASML's machine could run continuously for much longer, and it finally became commercially viable. By 2016, orders started pouring in, and now all of the most advanced chips need ASML's machine, making them perhaps the most important tech company in the world. ASML's first commercial machines had a numerical aperture of 0.33 and could print 13 nanometer lines. These are called the low-NA machines, and ASML still makes them. But the machine that Jan's team started working on back in 2012 was the next generation, which had a larger optic system so they could print even smaller features. This is the high-NA machine with a numerical aperture of 0.55, and we get to see their latest version up close. How much is the machine?
We always say north of 350 million euros.
And you can actually buy it, right?
You can if you want. Yeah.
If I had the money, I could buy it.
Yes, you could.
How many people have seen this before?
We really limit the amount of people that get to go inside the clean room.
ASML's machines are built in a super strict clean room. In any cubic meter, there can be no more than 10 particles, only 0.1 microns large, and nothing bigger than that. A speck of pollen is around 20 microns, and extremely fine sand is around 10 microns. To put all of this in perspective, hospital operating rooms, which have to be extremely clean, only allow a maximum of 10,000 particles per cubic meter that are 0.1 microns wide. It's so unfair how much better Mark looks though. In his light suit, I feel like a little Smurf.
Okay, so we're gonna go through the air showers. So you're gonna have to do it as I do.
Okay. So this is washing down all the particles that are still on
so
us.
this is like super clean air blowing us clean.
This place is huge.
It's huge.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I've been in a clean room a couple times before, but it's nothing compared to this. Are there any secret areas here where almost no one has access to?
I can't tell you.
Great answer.
Okay, so this is the total system.
This is it? That's crazy. Look how big it is. This is the most advanced machine humanity's ever built. It's taken many, many years, decades of development, many billions of dollars, all to get this humongous beauty. So this is the first high-NA machine.
Yes. So if you saw pictures on the internet or whatever,
Yeah.
that's this machine. So the very first lines ever printed at 8 nanometers and stuff, that was this machine.
The smoothest object on Earth.
Yeah, it's all in here, yeah.
Wait, so let me see if I can figure this out. This is the light source. That's where they make the extreme ultraviolet.
Yes.
And then the laser must come in from
Yeah, let's
there.
take a look at the laser.
In fact, we got to see just how the laser and light source work. I think we're entering the laser system here. Mark's just making sure, I think, that we can actually film here. That we're not catching anything we're not supposed to.